No comment.
Hey guys, welcome to Anime Royalty Radio. Back anyway. With me as always is Don, Aaron Legend,
Good evening.
and Vol. Not
What's
Volg, Vol. And on this episode for our games, which console has the upper edge in the console wars right now? Now we're not trying to put them against each other because we know everybody else is doing that. But me and this man got a beef.
So if you're tuning in for a bloody Xbox versus PS5 battle royale, this isn't it.
No, not really.
This is a peaceful discussion amongst friends.
I can yell peacefully.
So with that being said, what happened to start this off? Me and this man were talking Thursday.
Yeah.
Because Xbox announced that they are going to have backwards compatibility. I don't think that's enough to save it.
Again, the discussion isn't about which, console is better.
No.
And I like to believe that they're both on rather even footing.
Well, Juan, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Are you buying your Xbox to play tired games? Or, like, I understand that backwards compatibility is a thing, and people, one day they're like, oh, I really want to play God of War 2, so they think they should be able to throw it into whatever system they're currently playing and play it.
But that,
whatever.
it don't work
but
that
is
way.
that why you want a next-gen console?
I mean, there's also Halo.
But are you wanting it to play the original Halo Combat Evolved, or are you wanting it for Halo Infinite?
Well, here's the thing with that, with reverse compatibility. Unlike today's, current, thing with the Xbox One or even the Xbox One X, where you get a game that is reverse compatible and it's really just a port. And yeah, sure, loading speeds are probably a little bit faster. And honestly, the only actual graphics that you're really getting any enhancement out of is just because you're probably playing it on a 4K TV. That's really it. There is no difference. Whereas Microsoft is saying, hey, if you get Fable 2 or...
Yeah, Fable 2, and you want to play it,
or
pop it in.
New Vegas.
Yeah, Fallout New Vegas.
And you play it on the Series X, it is going to get a graphics boost.
But to me, graphics boost is not enough reason for me to care about backwards compatibility. It's not.
You have a point, but it's not always about the newer game. Some of the diehard, fans are like, oh, God, I still have all these games from like the original Xbox or the 360, and wait, I can play them at like 1080p or something like that on the Series X, and I don't have to pay anything.
But all the games are not going to be at 1080p.
No, but they are going to be a lot better than they were on, say, the Xbox One or the 360 when they originally came out. Shoot, I played most of those games on a big block Philips TV with a orange or purple splotch on the corner.
Oh, wow.
The tube.
So,
the tube. And
this is funny because we bring this up today because literally in a tweet I saw from one of the bigwigs of Bethesda, Tony, do you remember how to say his name?
It was like Belanco or something like that.
No, it started with a P, but it's something weird.
It was like Polanco or something.
Yeah, we're horrible with names, so get used to that. If you're coming to us, to be like really into it and know off our shit, nah, we're not it. He literally, because Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Mm-hmm. ZeniMax Studios.
Yes, they did. He literally put out a tweet today saying that no Bethesda games are coming out to the PlayStation.
Now, here's my thing. That is exactly how it was worded. No Bethesda games will be coming to PlayStation. So does that mean they're still going to include their games for the Switch? If so, if they're only cutting out Sony, to me, that shows that Microsoft's a little worried.
I agree, too. I actually really agree with that. Because this is something that me and you talked about. What's the one thing PlayStation did last console that won them, basically, that generation of the console wars?
Oh, everything that Microsoft just said their console does, ours doesn't do that. Here's a bunch of games
that everybody wanted. Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima,
God of War.
God of War. So yes, they instead said, okay, I know our hardware is not as good, but look at all these games.
And that seems to be their approach this time around. They're just like title after title after. Like I'm a gamer. Like I'll have both of them eventually, but Sony has me in like game overload. Like I know which one I want to get first, but I don't know which one I want to get second. Like
I mean, plus launch titles are better, aren't they? What's launch title right now for the PS5? Isn't it Miles
You're getting
Morales?
Spider-Man Miles Morales, Godfall, Sackboy: The Big Adventure, I believe it's called, which actually it's a platformer.
But Little Big
spin-off
Planet
of Little Big Planet,
yeah.
but it actually looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but Little Big Planet it's always to me been better than in newer gen platforms, just because it's different.
There's also Destruction All Stars, which is kind of like a weird.
Isn't it like a sequel to PlayStation All Stars in a way?
Yeah, but it's like that mixed with Twisted Metal. It's Destruction Derby style mayhem. It's
so Crash Bandicoot mixed with Smash. Crash Racing. Yeah.
We'll find out in about a month.
So, I just don't see where Microsoft's going to do it. But you were watching a video to where Microsoft has actually done a lot of stuff behind the scenes because they've said this is probably the last console they're going to make.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was watching. I don't know who it was or whatever, but we were basically doing the homework.
They're focusing more on their PC technologies, correct?
Yeah, and what they're going to add to the library for that. Oh my god!
Did he say anything?
Can you contribute more?
Microsoft has no stance at this moment. Thank you for your comments.
You're just mad because you're just a Microsoft boy.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Thing
that people don't understand about the console wars.
I love how he just...
You ready? You ready? I'm about to blow your minds.
Ready.
This has been going on ever since...
Sorry.
360. Well, not technically.
PS2 versus Xbox.
It's always been PS2 versus Xbox. PlayStation versus Xbox. Sony versus Microsoft. That's how it's been up until the Xbox One came out.
Okay.
And then Microsoft announced their official stance. It's no longer about making a console to compete with PlayStation. It's not what the deal is anymore. Granted, they still do because they want to be relevant, but the whole point is to create a different experience. Yes, PlayStation's response was, well, look at all these games we've got. We don't need all the extra features that Xbox has. But Xbox isn't just a console. It's an entertainment box.
But I'm not turning on my Xbox really to be entertained unless it's with games.
Right. So you're just the gamer. You don't look for the Xbox just for entertainment anymore. You look for the games in the Xbox and the games in the PlayStations, and PlayStation gave that to you. It gave you games.
Except for State of Decay.
Whereas other people do look for some kind of socializing on media.
Right.
But, okay, you say that, but there's one thing that throws this more up for me. We all have smartphones.
Right.
Everywhere we go now is here. Why do I need a console to do that at my house?
Because you're a douche if you play games on your phone.
Well, I'm not. No. I didn't say games.
I did.
No, he says. So, what level are you at in Strike Force or whatever? Contest of Champions?
No comment. Microsoft has no comment at this time.
That being said,
says the guy who plays so many.
Once again, Microsoft's official stance when it comes to their console is no longer just, this is a console to play games now. It's, we're building an experience. This is the Xbox where you can play your games if you want an Xbox game. But don't forget, if you're a PC gamer, we're not going to exclude you. You're going to have your access to our studios as well, because Microsoft is also very big into
I think
the
me
PC
and you are on the same
community.
page with this.
What kind of experience is it when your main meal ticket gets laughed out of the showcase? Everybody's like, "Whoa, could you guys maybe give us some better than Halo 3 graphics on the new Infinite game?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, let's delay that by a year for you."
Now, let's be honest.
With you
saying that right there, that's literally, to me, Microsoft throwing in the towel. Saying, we're done. We're just going to focus on that. Now, yes, I do agree it's smart to deal with PC gaming, because me and you also agreed pretty soon there's only going to be PC gaming. Or PC gaming consoles.
To be honest, they're pulling a Disney. They're trying to get the whole entertainment industry. It's not just about making a console to play games. It's about making a community where it's Xbox players, PC gamers, and unfortunately mobile gamers. And they've got a very
Except
good
for Among Us.
They've got a very good relationship with Nintendo to where they're also going to be sharing games on there. there was actually a lot of talk about putting Halo 2 on Nintendo before they decided to just
But
shut
see,
that.
But there's another problem. Nope. Halo 2 is outdated.
That was back when it first came out. I don't.
Okay.
mean, like,
I was
right
about to say.
now.
If it's
No.
coming out like right now, that's
Although
that's
if they put
stupid.
Halo 2 on the Switch, I'm buying that. I don't care. That
Well,
would be dope.
But see, that's another thing me and you talked about. I mean, let's be honest. How many different times have we bought Skyrim?
Good Lord.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. I even have
Nintendo Switch.
a Nintendo Switch.
Well,
All of them.
Final Fantasy. Let's say you just got your first gaming computer.
Okay.
If you had the option to play Final Fantasy on your gaming computer, would you?
You'd play 8 on it.
What if I gave you a disc that had every Final Fantasy game that you could put into your PlayStation 4? Would you play it? What if I told you that same disc could also be put into your computer?
That's not enough to keep me.
That's exactly what Microsoft did with Master Chief Collection. And now it's available on PC.
Bad example with Final Fantasy. Because there's 16 fucking titles.
I will say this. I watched, it was recently, and it was of the Devil May Cry 5 Next Gen Edition. I was watching some side-by-side stream footage on PS5
and
Xbox and PC. And I think both of the consoles actually, I don't know what kind of computer it was. I assume it was a current top-tier gaming computer, but I don't think they fall that far behind.
The only problem that me and you both have with the new consoles is the hard drive. What is it called now? It's not a hard drive.
The solid state drive.
It's a solid state drive,
SSD.
which has a actual lifespan.
Now, it could be 15, 20, 25 years, but yeah, they don't normally last forever.
See, I don't like that.
I gotta admit, that is really crappy, because I like to buy older consoles. If I have the money, I'd buy an N64 if I could find one for a decent price right now. Just because I like classic consoles. But
yes.
The fact of knowing that your children will never be able to go to a gaming store and be able to pick up an old Xbox One and play Halo Infinite like you did, that's not going to be possible.
But also, too, this is where I think they went with this. This is where their idea came. And that idea is, how many times do they remaster something? Halo got one not too long. Final Fantasy VII got a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VIII got re-released. Basically, it's ported. How many times has Resident Evil 4 been ported? You see what I'm saying? I feel like certain games, like Halo, will probably be. But here's the problem with that. You're taking a fan base with Halo that was on the consoles, and now you're making that fan base you buy almost a $2,000 computer to play Halo 6 or Halo 7.
But that's not the case.
How is that not the case? You can't pop it into PlayStation?
You can pop it in an Xbox. You can play it on the computer.
So
you can play it on mobile eventually. The whole goal is to make a community where you can play the game anywhere you want.
That's
except for competitors.
To me, that's stupid. Do you not think that's stupid?
Yeah.
That thing, I could tell by your look. You were kind of agreeing with me. To me, that's stupid.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why? Why not be able to play any game that you want on any system that you want?
Go ahead.
I understand being able to play any game you want on any system. I think that's a good idea, but I don't like knowing that, okay, if I'm really attached to Halo, if I'm really attached to Forza, what other exclusives do they have? Anyway, if I'm really attached to those titles, like if I want to play Forza 10, am I going to have to go out and build a gaming computer? Because that isn't cheap.
No, it's not.
A console's $400 or $500 depending on what edition you go with, and I saw graphics that were just as good as current gaming. Now that might not be the case
Then play
when
on
they
your
get
Xbox.
there.
If you want Xbox games, you can play.
But
on
hang on,
Xbox.
hang on. We're
I
only
thought
at
they were
Forza.
moving-
Let's say we're at only at what? Forza 7?
Yes,
Forza 10
7.
might come out in 2030. The Xbox One X is not going to be updated and modern at that point in time.
They'd have
So
to
then-
put out something else.
Yeah, so, okay.
I
So
thought
you-
this was going to be the last console. they ever made.
Supposedly, it is.
So
yes.
now here's the thing. Here's the kicker to what you're saying right there. So now I'm going to have this nice disc. I don't have my $2,000 gaming computer. I have this Xbox One X that's 10 years old, and I'm going to pop in a game and expect to get let's say we're at 8K out of it.
It's the Series X, sir, not the One X.
Whatever. I don't care.
Did you guys hear about the all the people thought they were pre-ordering Series X's? They all bought One X's.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So
Maybe think of a better name, Microsoft.
Valid point.
So now we're looking at it and it's going, I'm going to have to play Forza 10 on a console that's older and probably doesn't put out the same input to what I'm getting less bang for my buck. It's the truth.
And I expect a lot of bang now. The games are $70. I'm just saying, like, on either whoever.
I agree.
If I'm paying $70 for a game, that game better be. I don't want no ball drops, no excuses,
No
top of the
bugs
line.
at lunch. Launch.
Lunch.
Bugs at lunch.
If it's a picnic, that'll be hard to do.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But I mean,
But as games get more advanced, just like systems, software gets more advanced, and the games get bigger and more complicated.
so
Yeah.
you're saying that now? So technically, this is not going to be Microsoft's last
Either
console.
it
What
will
they're going to
be
do
their
is just
last
keep.
console,
This is the Xbox Series One X, one half, or
Either
something.
it will be their last console, or it won't be. But the point is, there will always be something new. The point they're trying to do is make a community out of it. What about PlayStation? What are they going to do?
Keep updating and keep making
Keep
themselves.
making new consoles that are bigger and better and more expensive to the point where you're basically paying the same thing as a gaming computer.
I doubt that.
Are
I
you
doubt
sure?
I would like to say this because I know a lot of people were worried about it because I did choose to purchase the PlayStation Digital Edition first because I'm dying to play Godfall. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks
I've seen
phenomenal.
it looks good.
And a lot of people were worried because the console, I think, has 825 gigabytes, and people were worried that might not be enough memory because I think after all the updates and, you don't get your full memory. I think it comes out to like 650
God forbid
about
they
the,
put
the
it.
game size. But so far, the average per game seems to be about 50. I know Godfall and Miles Morales are both 50 gigs.
My biggest problem with that is, and this is going to kind of eliminate external hard drives, ain't it? Them having an internal, the SSD.
Well, you can slide the plate off. Did you watch the teardown and put an expansion?
Okay, but
But the 2 terabyte expansion itself costs $450.
that's so stupid. So that's another thing. And this goes out to all game. This goes out to y'all, the Microsoft and PlayStation. Either quit updating the games, where like, okay, Warzone, Call of Duty. How many times in the last 3 months have we had like almost a 50 gig to 30 gig update?
I can't finish an update and play it. The
Exactly.
second I finish an update, just because I have slow internet, every time I finish an update, the second I start to play it, there's the next season.
And it's 30 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that console, the new PlayStation, you're looking at maybe fitting 2 games and having to delete.
The only way I could see this turning is if they pulled the Google move, where they have the little box.
The Starcadia, whatever the hell it's
where
called.
the box itself doesn't even run the games. It just accesses the servers with the games on it and streams the games to you.
I don't even like that.
I don't either.
Good.
I don't.
At least we're on, like...
I don't, but a console or a computer or whatever it is in your house that's going to be able to keep up with the high demand of quality of a game that we want in the next 10 years will be incredibly expensive, no matter if it's a console or a computer.
I disagree with that.
So
That's just me. I don't see it happening. I feel like Sony will not do that because they know they can't do that.
they're going to be making the same quality console for the next 10
No.
years?
No. You sit there and say that, but also new technology later on becomes inexpensive. It's not as expensive as it is now. Look at laptops.
Look at TVs.
Exactly.
So what you're doing is you're just waiting for old technology to become cheap so you can turn it into a console.
Yeah, so I don't have to pay $3,000 right up front for a damn computer that's going to bug out and then need updating or replacing the damn graphics chip a year into it, and then I'm spending another $600 on it.
Exactly. So you're paying for a new console every few years.
At least I'll have a console, Microsoft.
Same console every few years.
Well, if you ask me, it's still too early for a damn new console.
It really is. They should have waited
So-
another 2 years.
I agree.
Christian, I'm picking up that you're looking forward to the Xbox Series X. May I
am.
ask why?
Halo.
Why?
Yes. Like, what is your main reason?
I really love the fact that it's going to be an all-around entertainment center. Yes, Halo is the biggest feature that's pulling me to it because I'm a huge Halo fan.
Right.
But at the same time, they're showing their ability to broaden their spectrum even with Halo. Like Halo, it's not just a game anymore. It's going to be a game for 10 years where they're constantly adding
I
info.
heard it might be a little bit like Destiny-ish or some type of weird deal going
It is
on.
already open world, ain't it? Because me and you
Yes.
watch like the beta.
It is
or
open
something
world.
like
It's
that.
going to be set up like Destiny was set up, where there's an open world. This is your campaign. Do it. And then after a certain amount of time, they're going to upload a new campaign. It's still open world. You just have access to it now.
So
instead
basically,
of
it's Halo
releasing-
MMO. It almost sounds like Halo MMO.
Pretty close, yeah.
Halo RPG, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So instead of just selling a whole new game, just adding on to the game that already exists.
Now,
Okay.
you say that, but only certain games have been able to pull that off.
Right.
Most of them are MMOs, yeah.
Yeah, World of Warcraft, Diablo.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yep, it's still going strong. But those are heavy titles. I don't think Halo has the backing. I don't.
You don't think
Destiny
Halo
2 is
has the
somehow
backing.
still kicking, so...
I mean, I'm not. I just. Listen, those games that I mentioned are very RPG, old school RPG, JRPG relevant.
I'm going to have to disagree with the amount of backing Microsoft itself has. They can't let Halo fall. That's just
They
not an
better
option
not.
for them.
If Infinite is as bad,
And
if it's bad,
If it's like, they can't afford for it not to be a grand slam.
And with
it
the
better
amount
be.
of resources they've spent buying new studios, there is no reason it should be bad. They have no excuse if it is.
Right, exactly. If you can go drop so many
Seven-
billions on Bethesda, you should be able to knock a Halo game out of the park.
hey, but hang on now. You say that, but EA has done that many a time with game studios, where they have bought a good game studio and then forced them to put something out, and it's been shit. And I hate to say this, BioWare's a main example. They bought BioWare after after Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Then they did good. They put out Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, but it wasn't very EA or influence, except for 3 because they had a multiplayer. Now, granted, Dragon Age Inquisition did get Game of the Year, but what happened to Andromeda?
It was just a buggy mess.
Exactly, because it was rushed.
It was almost unplayable
so.
at launch.
It was fixed after the patch.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't need that. I agree with him. If it's $70, that game better come out polished.
Yeah.
I should not need
I
a day
agree
one
with that.
update.
Well, Andromeda standard package wasn't $70. I'm just saying.
So, what about you, Juan? Which one are you leaning towards more, and why?
I know it sounds like a lot like I'm defending Microsoft, but that's just because I'm hardwired to not yield when it comes to an argument. I'm gonna get both, obviously, because
Right.
I love my Gears. I like Halo.
Which one are you going to get first?
Hmm.
That's the big one. That's the big question.
I guess it'll come out to which new title comes out faster. Because
Understandable.
Because when it comes to the PlayStation, I do want Final Fantasy 16, obviously. I also want Resident Evil Village,
Mm-hmm.
but I also want Halo, and I want Gears. So probably whichever title comes out with the or whatever system comes out with the title that I want first, I'll probably go to that one. So it'll be a toss up. But on a lighter note, and I told you about this. Well, we're talking about how Microsoft is throwing GameStop a boon or a lifeline.
Yeah. Because of everything going to digital.
Right.
That's right. So what it is, and I even spoke a little bit to an actual, rep from GameStop, and I went to go, pre-order Far Cry 6 because I forgot I needed to do that. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Far Cry 6.
But basically, if you buy or when you buy a Series X at GameStop, you take it home, you plug it in. If you buy any, digital downloadable content, games, DLC, what have you, GameStop will be getting a cut. I don't know what the percentage is, but they will be getting a cut of that.
I'm kind of salty to hear about that, really. I kind of hate to be that guy, but especially after the way the GameStop handled the next gen pre-orders where they went live early and employees bought them all.
Oh, and I'm
to resell. I kind of wanted them to go under.
Mm.
Like I wanted GameStop to go bye-bye because that was just dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm mad at them right now.
People
for my,
lining up the next day when the consoles actually released, the date that people were given to go get the consoles, and GameStop coming out and being like, "Oh yeah, those all sold out yesterday because we bought them."
and selling them on it. I'm mad at GameStop right now for messing up my Morbius. Venom 2. Oh, I'm not happy about that. I am not happy about that.
Should save that one for the
But
collectibles.
will
I'm sorry,
this-
I couldn't help it. We were on topic of GameStop.
But will this save GameStop in the future? Probably not. It probably won't be enough. And this deal, supposedly, it's a lifelong, but it has like a 15-year contract that will probably be renewed anyway. But I don't think it'll be enough if everything just goes straight to PC and digital gaming. I mean, yes, you can buy digital games and content from GameStop, but let's
Yes,
be
you
honest,
can.
it's a
I do.
lot easier just to buy it in store on PlayStation Store or on Xbox Store.
Yes.
You say that, but a lot of times you don't get some of the sales.
This is true.
Like if a game is old, it might stay on the PlayStation Store or Xbox Store at $59.99. Where if you go to GameStop or look on their thing, it might be $39.99.
It'll be lower. Yeah, you get a lot of good deals at GameStop, and also, let's be honest, we're all collectors here. We like seeing the gold edition or the platinum, the collector's edition. You
Yep.
know, I still have my freaking Yakuza 6 collection with my whiskey glasses and soapstones. I freaking love those. I've only drinking out of one glass once.
Nice.
But everybody loves pre-ordering a game on some higher, package and getting a steel book or an art book or something.
Something, a kickback
Still
for what
have
we're
my
ordering.
Batman Arkham Asylum Collector's
Mm.
Edition.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Yep.
When you pre-ordered, what was it? Final Fantasy 15, and I didn't pre-order it that package, but I still bought the hardcover strategy guide. On the very back cover, it was signed by the development team.
Mm-hmm. And see, my Royal Edition, or not Royal Edition, it's like the higher edition one. It came with
Was
the
the
movie.
Royal Edition?
Was it Royal Edition
Or
before?
at least that's what the new pass is.
I know, but it was called something else. The collector's edition was called something else.
It came
It came
with
with
the
a
movie.
hard book, and it came with the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Kingsglaive.
Kingsglaive.
That's what it was, Kingsglaive edition. And it
This
was
bastard fell asleep halfway through it.
Yeah, I was sleepy.
such a good.
It was a good movie. I just couldn't help it. I was sleepy.
When are you not?
I mean,
That's
valid.
valid.
point. Yeah, I'm sleepy all the time.
So are we good? Because this is a long episode.
Very long.
Yeah, it's longer than I thought it'd be.
It was a very passionate episode.
Yeah,
I think so,
that
too.
was a good one.
Yeah, I'm
And
good.
no bad
I'm
blood.
good with it.
Nobody got stabbed. Nobody got punched.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not
all
even going to
friends
sleep
here.
right now.
Okay,
You
we'll have
probably
to stab
are.
him to
Right.
keep him awake.
All right, good job, guys.
Do
Night.
your pants. All right,
I don't think I got the reach from here.
All right,
No,
guys. With
I
that,
can't reach.
like, comment, and subscribe again.
Smash
And-
that bell icon.
Yeah,
Peace.
that thing.
Good night, everybody.
And good night.